Now at 10.
I think, the event with the president in Macon's any indication our people are fired up.
The time for talk is done. 9 hours until the polls open for the most anticipated midterm election in recent memory. Plus,
war veterans defend a placement of the monument they are building.
Showers and storms to our west coming our way for tomorrow.
I'm John Hart. This is News Channel 6 at 10 on MeTV. And we begin with breaking news and heartbreaking news out of Hepzibah tonight. A live look at Karen Way off of Old Waynesboro Road, where tonight the sheriff's office says a 6-year-old child has been shot and killed. Investigators say they have a family member in custody. They are questioning that person to determine if this was an accident or something else. Again, this investigation in the early stages. They have not released the name of the victim or the suspect, but again, a 6-year-old child shot and killed on Karen Way in Hepzibah tonight. If we get any more information in the next half hour, we'll certainly pass that along to you. If not, be sure to keep checking WJBF.com and our Facebook and Twitter for updates. New at 10 tonight, the eve of the 2018 midterms. By this time tomorrow night, you will have chosen a governor, representation in Washington, and several other officials, and all the ads will be done in Georgia. Of course, the big race is for governor. A last-minute bombshell as the Secretary of State's office announces an investigation into accusations that Democrats tried to hack a voter database. Of course, the Secretary of State also happens to be the Republican candidate, Brian Kemp, who stopped at Daniel Field in Augusta on this eve of the election. Ashley Osborne was there.
Today, Brian Kemp tells News Channel 6 he's not wrapped up in poll numbers, but focused on turnout.
And I think, the event with the president in Macon's any indication our people are fired up.
Kemp says if they weren't investigating, then the DNC would point the finger at him and say he wasn't doing his job. For her part, Abrams spent part of her day campaigning for last-minute votes in Savannah, where she was obviously asked to respond to the accusations from Kemp.
He ignored the warnings. He then made up a lie.
Yeah, Democrats say it is a conflict of interest for Kemp to remain Secretary of State while running for governor, but political experts tell us there is no law saying he has to step down. In the Palmetto State, incumbent Republican Governor Henry McMaster trying to fend off a challenge from Democrat State Rep James Smith. Both spent their day crisscrossing South Carolina. Stetson Miller reports.
The candidates in the South Carolina race for governor are making their final stops and trying to reach as many voters as possible on the eve of the election.
And there is growing concern tonight about the weather tomorrow and what effect that might have on turnout at the polls. So, of course, we turn to Chief Meteorologist George Myers tracking the situation in the Forecast Center.
That's right, John. Right now, there's a line of strong to severe storms across the deep south.
All right, George, President Trump and former President Obama, neither of whom are on the ballot tomorrow, by the way, but they are continuing to make last-minute pitches to voters coast to coast as Democrats try to wrestle control of the House and Republicans try to keep them from doing it. Karen Cahill looks at what's at stake nationally tomorrow.
In the final hours of the midterm campaign, each party sending top names on the trail.
And we will be with you all night tomorrow night on air and online. We will have reporters all across Georgia and South Carolina with updates throughout the night at WJBF.com, on our Facebook page, and at WJBF on Twitter. And of course, a complete recap with live reaction and analysis right back here tomorrow night, same time, same bat channel, WJBF News Channel 6 at 10. New at 10, Augusta City leaders giving the go-ahead for a local organization to build a memorial downtown that will honor Vietnam veterans. Devin Johnson is live in the newsroom with that story. Devin. All right, Devin Johnson live in the newsroom for us tonight. Devin, thanks. Tonight, Augusta City leaders are mourning the loss of Commissioner Andrew Jefferson. Jefferson died after collapsing at church yesterday. Just last week, he was offering his condolences to the family of Commissioner Grady Smith, who, of course, died less than 3 weeks ago. Mayor Hardy Davis says now is the time to think of Jefferson's family, not what is next for Jefferson's district.
I want to encourage anyone who's thinking about it, anyone who's considering, well, let me start.
And the mayor went on to say he wanted to, whoever's considering to put their name in the hat to stop those conversations now. He said this is the time once again for the community to put our arms around Jefferson's family members. Jefferson's funeral will be this Saturday at 1 o'clock at Good Shepherd Baptist Church. Oh yeah, I told you about the rain and possibly strong storms headed our way for Election Day tomorrow. Here is what it is doing in Louisiana tonight. At least one tornado reportedly touched down. This is in the area where Louisiana, Texas, and Arkansas sort of come together. Good news is local officials say no reports of any injuries, though a tornado watch is still in effect for that area.
Now, your most accurate forecast.
Thus completes the weather report.
For you, George, we just throw out the clock.
You're the best producer in the world.
At 10 o'clock. George, thanks. Still ahead, we continue our salute to veterans this month with a special report on a local man who has an amazing story from World War II. Tonight, a News Channel 6 special report. Veterans Day is next week, and we'd like to introduce you to Dennis Trudeau, the former mayor of Grovetown. But before politics, he saw action in one of the biggest battles of World War II. But that's just the beginning. George Escala has his story.
George Escala, WJBF News Channel 6.
And still ahead, Georgia has already punched its ticket to the SEC championship game, but there is much work to be done before the Dogs can even think about Alabama. Breaking news, in case you were not with us at the top of the show, a 6-year-old child shot and killed in Hepzibah tonight. This is on Karen Way. Investigators have a family member in custody. They're questioning that person to find out whether or not this was an accident. The victim's name has not been released. Another update when the news continues at the top of the hour on WJBF News Channel 6 at 11. Hogan's Heroes next here on